What's up YouTube, it is Matty and this is another cleanup episode we've taken from the war with War on Glory, which was an amazing war. Slight outmatch, but I'll do a proper recap on that one anyway. So yeah, hope you guys look forward to that. And let's get into it. So the attack I'm going to show is a cleanup on an attack done by Tim the Titan. So if we have a little look, there he is. And yeah, we'll watch the raid out. We'll talk through it, as in the raid, and the issues that are along with it, and where's there, and then have a look at how Stewie improved it and managed to turn a fail into a 3-star. Okay, so the plan, you can see Queen Walk, pushing the Queen clockwise is the idea. Double Golem with Wizard breaking, straight into the King and Queen, and then out through to the rest of the base. And he's got 10 hogs for the just to take down any remaining defences on the route. But you're about to see the first problem with this raid, and it's about to happen now. So the Queen moves into a position where she has now decided to break in. So what he's done, used a jump to get into the compartment that he wanted to do, the Queen compartment, using double poison to help take down the CC. He's gone heavy on wizards, and you can see the quantity of wizards actually in there, and the purpose of them is to help take down the King, the Queen and the CC. Not a bad shout, but what happens here, he puts a jump spell down. The jump spell, does it work? No, the jump spell just didn't reach, meaning that his troops had to manually break through. So his Queen's gone off course and just hitting walls. His King and Valks are just breaking through. So the raid just didn't quite work, or he hasn't got much value, or the amount of value he should have gotten yet, particularly that he's considering he's only got 10 hog riders and no spells to help them out either. So there, it was going to be when you were only carrying like 10 hogs or that sort of amount, you need to be planning to take down a lot of the base without them, or doing some serious tanking for them so that they get away pretty much unscathed. And then the Queen died. I think he must have been focused elsewhere in the raid, and yeah, it all sort of fizzled out. I mean, he had 7 hogs left, not enough to really just tank for them. The King was getting hit, and it was inevitable that he was going to die. And there it is. There's the end of the raid. So, couple of subtle differences. I think Stewie liked the plan and he thought he can work with it. Obviously there was a few major issues. The Valkyrie is becoming almost useless, and the King not taking the jump and then fighting through the base. And the second issue, that the Queen just broke in and just wasn't adding much value. So if he can correct those two things, he should be onto a much better formula. So let's have a little look at Stewie's raid now and see what he did. First thing we're going to notice is the army comp changes. So he's dropped the poisons, so he knows what's in the CC, and he's going to do the same, and he's added a couple of wizards in, dropped to Valkyrie as well. What has he added to Valk? I think Tim might have had 6. Either way, 10 hogs are the same. 7. Yeah, he's dropped a couple of wizards, added Valk, and used Earthquakes instead. Now the thing with Earthquakes is, it's obviously there's going to be no issue with opening up that base and being able to for the troops to move through. So it should be a much smoother process once he gets the King and the Valkyries in. He's kept the Rage Spell for them. There's a slight risk that the Loons are going to do some serious damage to the kill squad. But the other thing is, how is he going to get his Queen to sit right? And you may notice that just and I'll go back and show you in a second. If we watch where he drops his Queen in a moment, so you can see where he quakes open the base. Beautiful earthquake, just completely opening it up. And look, he dropped it towards the bottom side of that camp. Now what it meant is that she took down the right hand buildings first, and at this point she takes down the elixir collector, which is perfect because she's going to go onto the arch tower, the gold storage, the cannon, and then ultimately where he wants her to go, use that that barracks as an anchor to pull her to the right. So you can see the sequence she's taking the buildings down. She's going to walk, and she's going to carry on walking, and that's the first big difference. So if we go back now to Tim's raid, I will show Stewie's raid thoroughly in a moment. I just wanted to really highlight that. So because he dropped her towards the bottom side of the camp, we'll see where Tim dropped her now, just to get an idea of what the subtle difference is. And it might only be 1 tile or 2 tiles, But watch what happens. Instead, at the point where she made the choice on the previous one to go south towards the elixir collector, she went north towards the builder hut. Then she got onto the arch tower look, and then she pulled forward, hit the cannon next, and then now her choice is to go right to the gold storage. She's getting further away from that collector. The elixir pump hadn't gone down either, so she's going. Oh, sorry, the gold mine is now the next closest building. She's gone the wrong way, so now that elixir collector, which is or the barracks that would have been there, are not in her line of sight. The only thing that's going to be in her line of sight is that air defense, and that's what she's going to go for. So that's the difference. It might have been one tile. So again, if you want to go back and pause that video just to find out exactly where he dropped her, and then watch this one, something so subtle like the a tile or two can make a massive deal, especially when it comes to the queen. So you need to almost map out which building she's going to take down. And just because you could put that a little bit closer to that elixir pump, she's going to go and get that instead, and then instead of hitting the pushing up towards to get the barracks, she's going to take the gold storage down earlier, then the cannon, and then pull up north. So on the kill squad changes, got the golem down, the wizards. Now he's using wizards to help take down the king, which is good. The first golem's almost been like a sacrificial lamb, it's almost dead already. Valkyrie's moving through, they're going to help take down the king as well. And here goes the king. So the risk is that the loons do some serious damage, but the troops are moving through. Now here, look, the Valkyries and the wizards in there. So he's used a rage spell to try and help. The wizards have gone into position, so they are going to take down the troops. The king has taken a little bit of damage, but because the earthquake's there, they've been able to push through the base, and he's got his golem into a good position as well. And he's going to be pushing through in a much better way. The queen's running around the outside hitting defences as well. And now those 10 hogs that he's got, they're looking better because he's going to send a couple in on the same position that Tim did. But those final back end hogs can be tanked by the king. There's not that many other defences going there. The queen could have gone round and got them anyway, had those hogs not been successful in taking down the Tesla farm. And that's the difference in this raid. Sorry. Look at that, Troll Tesla at the top with a giant bomb on. Maybe missed it at the start of the video because you could have dropped a single loon and took that out. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to really highlight in this video, this cleanup episode, the difference between the one tile or two tiles that can change the course of the queen and therefore change the outcome of the raid. And also sometimes you've got to weigh up when it's better to use a jump and an earthquake, what the actual radius is. Is it going to work? Because his failed jump caused him a massive issue. He might have been able to pull through that raid if the king and the Valks had have tanked a bit better for his hogs. But clearly they didn't, so it just caused him an issue. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.